afternoon, Frank, and hello, America. Thank you for joining us today at Back's History class. Today's debate will remind many about the Compromise of 1815. Let's break it down.
The Compromise of 1850 was created in order to resolve dispute about slavery between the North and the South. First, the compromise allowed California to be admitted as a free state. Second, the Mexican cession was divided into two parts, Utah and New Mexico. And third, it settled the border dispute over Texas and New Mexico.
Now, Frank, let's not forget about the Fugitive Slave Act and the ending of the slave trade in Washington, D.C. Speaking of which, let's head over to Mr. Franco, a respected band director for HGHS, and Dingleberry, an opposing band director.
She is my drummer, my slave. She does my bidding, so don't try to steal her away from me. She only recently became a ninth grader, and I was able to convince her to join my band. In case you were planning on stealing her away from me, I decided to propose an idea to your principal.
Just like the Wilmot Proviso, which was proposed by David Wilmot, a Pennsylvania Democrat in 1846, the amendment was designed to eliminate slavery within the land acquired as a result of the Mexican War. Fun fact, a debate over the Proviso inflamed the growing controversy over slavery, and its underlying principle helped bring about the formation of the Republican Party in 1854.
So I've been told, a ban that prevents me from accepting one of your slaves as a new member of my band. Ha! Luckily that proposal wasn't approved by the Board of Education.
Just like the Wilmot Proviso passed through the House of Representatives, but was defeated by the Senate.
Speaking of defeat, let's head over to Mr. Franco.
Is that why I lost one of my drummers?
Pardon? Oh yes, I was able to receive him into my band. Plus, I offered him a better deal.
What type of deal?
Better Wi-Fi. In addition, my principal viewed your proposed idea as unfair. He thought every musician had the right to choose which band they thought was most suitable for them.
Reminds me of the Fugitive Slave Law, also known as the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, passed by the United States Congress on September 18, 1850 as a part of the Compromise of 1850 between Southern slaveholding interests and Northern free soilers. The act was one of the most controversial elements of the 1850 Compromise and heightened Northern fears of a slave power conspiracy. It required that all escaped slaves upon capture be returned to their masters, and that officials and citizens of free states had to cooperate. Abolitionists nicknamed in the Bloodhound Law for the dogs that were used to track down runaway slaves.
And just like Dingleberry's principle, the North refused to enforce the law, claiming it was unfair. The North wanted the Fugitive Slave Law to guarantee African Americans the right to testify and also the right to a trial by jury. Let's head back to Mr. Franco.
I always knew you were behind the disappearance of one of my drummers. That's why I proposed my idea to your principal, to prevent you from taking away any more of my band members. Unfortunately, my plan backfired.
Just like the South's plan had backfired, the Fugitive Slave Act was meant to be a response to Northerners' actions. For example, many slaves used the Underground Railroad to escape the North, and many of the Northerners helped give these slaves shelter.
As I previously stated, any musician has the right to choose which band they want to be a part of, and it is unjust to prevent them from doing so, for any new addition to the band can make a big difference in their performance.
The smallest of actions may be the cause of a greater result. For example, the abolition or ending of slavery in Washington, D.C. was the first step towards equality and enfranchisement, or the giving of a right or privilege of the modern civil rights movement. The civil rights movement was a mass popular movement to secure for African Americans equal access to and opportunities for the basic privileges and the rights of U.S. citizenship.
Well, we are running out of time. Thank you, Americans, for joining us today. We will talk to you all soon at ABHC on Friday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Bro, doesn't want to...
Bro!
Read your line.
Okay.
Are you saying I'm not always cute?
Guy, what do you mean?
You're always cute, Reno.
Thank you.
Scales at the bottom.
That's also baby me, that's baby my brothers.
Hi.
Where's George?
Is it on my face?
Why do you want me to come off like this?
And go.
Good afternoon, Carlos.
Reynolds peepees.
Oh, it drips to the bottom.
I just saw George's mouth do this.
All right. Oh my God. Stop, bro. Get out.
Okay, Okay.
No, like for real. Stop, bro. Stop. Oh my god. Stop.
It is.
He's not even afraid. Break out.
Rita, what are you doing? Today's debate will remind us about the many
Get off my seat.
compromise of 1850. Let's break it down. No, no, no. I am not your bro. I am Di Francisco.
Your principal to prevent you from. Bloopers.
Bloopers.
Go Power Rangers.
Go.
Panama